calling it a love song.
What is up, my awesome gemstones? It's Mary Gem and I'm back with another video, and today's video is going to be on how do people see you. Okay, so we have 3 piles here today. Please excuse that I'm not using a tripod, but yeah, there's only 3 piles. So pile number 1 is Mr. Peanut Butter. Okay, wait, it doesn't want to focus. But yeah, Mr. Peanut Butter. Pile 2 is Unen 2. And pile 3 says Motel Mobile. So yeah, these are the 3 piles. Please watch the entire video if you can as well. I love you loads, and let's get into it. Alrighty, what is up, my awesome gemstones? It's Mary Gem and I'm back with another video, and today's video is going to be on how do people see you. So it's kind of late right now, so if I'm like kind of whispering or whatever, you know the reason why. So yeah, sending love and light, all the good vibes. I hope that whenever you're busy watching this, you're having an amazing day, evening, morning, afternoon, all that stuff. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. Pile number 1, you guys chose Mr. Peanut Butter. I'm going to try and keep the cards a bit longer because I've noticed when I'm busy editing my videos, like, I don't show the cards and you can't see them clearly, so yeah. Anyways, I feel like pile number 1 with the Mr. Peanut Butter card, I'll insert a photo of who he is. Basically, this is someone that is like a golden retriever. They're someone that's just always chirpy, they're always happy, and like nothing really phases them. So I feel like people view you as someone that can be really oblivious to a lot of things. It's kind of like you're someone that definitely is a go-getter, and I feel like, okay, so you know, I'm not gonna sugarcoat, but I feel like a lot of people sometimes don't really understand what you do for a living, or they don't really understand how you are the way you are. They feel like you're someone that's so like positive, or you're always manifesting, or you're like so spiritual and you always get what you want. Or it's like people always end up liking you and they're like, how? Like, you remind me of Rowley and Gregory from Die for a Wimpy Kid. I don't know if you remember, but like, it was about this guy and he was just like such an asshole, and he had a friend that was like really likable, and he had no idea why this guy was so likable. He was like, you know, Rowley is a weirdo, he is childish. Like, he said he thought all these things about his best friend, but like this best friend literally was popular and better than him in every way basically. So I just get the vibe that people will have these thoughts about you that like aren't that nice, but then it's like you're the one that's busy succeeding. Like, people will talk smack about you, people will be rude to you and say all this stuff, but it's like you're still winning. It's this energy where it's like, for example, not like no publicity, any publicity is better than no publicity, or all publicity is good publicity, where it's like these people are busy hating on you but you're like busy living lavishly, you know, like they can keep talking and it doesn't matter because you're still going to be thriving, you know, living the life. But yeah, I definitely feel like you are smarter than you think, or people think that you're smarter than you think. I feel like people tend to overestimate you and they kind of see you as like this master, like, you know, this mastermind, and they're like, oh, you're busy making this caricature of like who you are and like you planned all this. Or it's like, I'm just hearing like maybe you and someone went for like a job interview, or you and someone else wrote a test together and you're like, oh, I didn't study, and then you get like high marks, and then people think, oh, you're lying and like you did study, and it's like, nah, you're just smart. I just feel like people like to make assumptions about you and think that you're this or that. And it's like there's definitely a lot of rumors going around about you, and I'll make another video on who is gossiping about you, because pile 1, there are definitely some haters out there for you, 100%. But yeah, people view you as being very successful, and I just feel like they kind of wish that they knew your secret, or they wish that you weren't succeeding so much in life. Like, what the actual. But okay, let's see. Spirit, how do people see pile 1? How do people see pile 1, Spirit? How do people see pile 1? So the first card that we got is the 8 of Elixirs that came upright, okay? So I just get the energy that people view you as someone that really does like love the quote of like, you know, live, laugh, love. I feel like if people think of that quote, they think about you, because you're someone that really does just live life, and you laugh a lot and live, laugh, and you love a lot. I feel like you're someone that has such a huge heart, and it's like people are like, how is this your entire personality? Like, you're just like such a nice person, you're funny, and you're so sweet and kind. And they're like, it doesn't make any sense. I feel like people try to look for like the negative in you, or they try to look for like, you know, something that just makes you like a bad person. Like, it reminds me of this one Capricorn that I knew. Okay, how do I say this without exposing them? But like, I remember they knew, so there were two Capricorns, right? And like, this one Capricorn didn't like the other Capricorn, and it's like they just always try to see the worst in them. But it's like, fam, there was nothing bad about this other Capricorn. Like, genuinely, they were just a really nice person. And like, I know some people that it's like they're just nice people, genuinely, they just have great hearts. And I feel like sometimes people like don't understand it, and maybe you're in a lot like an energy where it's like you're with a lot of low vibrational people, or it's like people that try to gaslight you, or it's like maybe you're spiritual and you're around a lot of people that aren't, or it's like you try to, you know, speak your truth and try to speak about what you believe in, and then people try to dismiss you. So it's like that type of vibe, but people still see you as being a go-getter, and it's like people will tell you whatever, and like you're still so kind. But there definitely is this like oblivious vibe. But I feel like people just try to find reasons not to like you, but like it's kind of impossible. They view you as someone that always sees a positive in everything. You could definitely have like dark humor, and you could also be a therapist, or people use you as being the therapist friend. And I'm hearing that people think it's so funny that you have dark humor, or like they don't expect it from you. You know, maybe like I said, because they view you as being this golden retriever type person, and then when they talk to you, you're kind of like very cynical, very dark, or whatever. And they think it's kind of like ironic in a way. Like, I saw on TikTok they were saying like, there's this one therapist, and they say that they swear during their sessions, and like they use dark humor, and like they have to set boundaries with their friends, and like they're not everyone's therapist, you know, and it's hard to put those boundaries down. And I feel like people are just so surprised, because it's like you seem like this happy bubbly person, but it's like you aren't like that 24/7, you know, you do have your boundaries. And it's like people are just so shocked, because they're like, but you're so nice and kind and sweet, why can't I take advantage of you, you know? And you're like, bitch, like little do you know, I I don't know how to say it, but I keep saying TikTok, but like for real, like I knew this one person on YouTube. I forgot their name, which sucks, but like they're a tarot YouTuber, and I remember they were saying like, you know, yes, I'm spiritual, yes, I'm a tarot reader, but like, you know, I'm still authentic, I'm still raw. And like they were saying like, you know, everyone likes to say love and light, but they were like, I don't fuck with that bullshit, you know. They were saying like, excuse me, they were just like, I don't know, like there was like something raw and authentic about them. And it's like, if you think about, you know, like the traditional tarot reader and everything, you think, oh, love, light, you know, happiness, kindness. But it's like, bitch, the fuck? Like there's dark feminine, there's different types of witches, there's different types of tarot readers, and there's different types of people. And I just feel like as much as people see this caricature version of you, it's like there's more to you, and there's depth to you. And I just feel like people are always surprised when you have like really strict boundaries, or it's like maybe you have an amazing body, and then people think, oh, like I always see you eating like, you know, takeout and everything, like how do you stay so fit? And then it's like, little do they know, like you have like a whole, you know, like a diet plan, and you work out every day. I just feel like people don't take into consideration really how smart you are. It's like you have this one hit wonder energy where like people think, oh, like you're just lucky, like, you know, it's not going to happen a second time. But like they don't know that you really did, you know, plan it out in the future. Oh, you did plan out your future. I hope I'm making sense. Okay, Spirit, how do people see power one? Okay, then we have the Temperance card that came upright. Okay, so the Temperance card is ruled by Sagittarius. So people definitely view you as someone that doesn't like commitment. I feel like you're someone that is very loving and very kind. And I feel like they're just so surprised that you can be single or that you have commitment issues. Because I'm sorry, my Sag babies, I love you so much. But most of y'all got commitment issues, okay? I love you. I feel like people think it's just like you're such an ironic person. I feel like you're ironically funny, ironically this and that, and they just think it's like really endearing. And I feel like that's why you attract a lot of like awesome people in your life, or like a lot of people want to be your friend. I feel like you're very sociable, and my nose keeps being itchy, which means I'm definitely, you know, on the right track and I'm saying the right thing. But yeah, the Temperance card just talks about balance and trying to balance out everything in your life. So people view you as being someone that can have a lot of fun, let loose, but like, you know, when shit comes down, you're like prepared. It's like you might be a Sag sun and moon, but you're a Capricorn rising, and that Capricorn rising does all the work that your sun and moon can't. Okay, so it's like, yeah, you know, you can have fun, you can let loose, but bitch, you're still getting your marks, you're still getting your good grades. Okay, okay. So let me pull out one more card. Spirit, how do people see pile one? Okay, two cards came out. So we have the Queen of Blades that came up, right? Okay, so the Queen of Swords talks about someone that is very cutthroat. This is someone that literally does not take any BS from anyone. They cut people off if they need to. And I just feel like because you just have this energy where you seem like such, like I said, a golden retriever vibe. Like, I don't know if you know the term golden retriever boyfriend, but it's basically just a guy or like a person, whichever gender. And it's like they're just like always happy. They're never thinking about anything. They're just like, you know, the overthinker person, and then you have the other person that's like the opposite. You're basically the opposite. And yeah, I just feel like people are always surprised when they speak to you that you can be so blunt and you can have these boundaries set for yourself, and that you can be so you have a lot of self-control. I just feel like people are always surprised that you have your ish together. I need to stop swearing because yeah, but you know, you have your ish together. Yeah, you don't let people take advantage of you, even if it might look like it. I feel like you definitely are the mastermind, and I feel like you know what you're doing. You could definitely be a Cancer, because you know, or you could be a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Oh, Pisces, they're so powerful. And it's like, I mean, you also could be an air sign, but anyways, if you're a water sign, I feel like it's like people might think that they have the upper hand, but you're always two steps ahead, you know? Or you're someone that will detach from someone while you're in a relationship, so that when the relationship does end, it's like you're already healed, you know? Like, I feel like you just like think like that. So you could definitely have a Gemini moon or Gemini Mercury, because I know my one friend is like that. Like, they stayed in a relationship for like way longer than they needed to, but it was just so that they could heal before they left, you know? And then yeah, so we also have the Six of Elixirs that came up, right? So this talks about compromise. Okay, I feel like people really appreciate that you can meet them halfway, and that you hear everyone's story out. You're never like subjective, you're always objective, and you always try to see things from every point of view. And before you make a decision about anything, you need to do your research. And this definitely reminds me of my Gemini brother, because he does research on everything, and I feel like you're similar to that as well. Before you make a friend, you need to, like, you know their backstory. Before you call someone your friend, your partner, whatever, you need to know everything about them before you do that. Okay, like, titles are a big thing for you, and you don't use the word friend or partner or even family like lightly. It's kind of like, nah, if you're in, you're in. Okay, because once you're out, you're out. So you definitely have this 0 to 100 type energy. But yeah, okay, let me pull out one more card. I keep saying one more card, but yeah, let's do it just because I like you. Spirit, can I please clear the energy? How do people see pile one? How do they see pile one? I don't know why my nose is itching. Very weird. Maybe I have allergies. People think you go to so many parties, yeah. Okay, Spirit. Like, you could have COVID. I don't know. Be safe, please. Stay inside. Anyway, Spirit, how do people see Power 1? So we have Castle. It's time for healing, not war. Look at this beautiful card. You can see this person, they're like standing in like this castle and like it's all broken. And it says like, as much as maybe you want to like, you know, show people like, actually I'm tough. Like, I feel like a lot of water signs, like especially, yeah, Cancer and Pisces, and even like Aries people, they try to prove themselves because people always say, oh, Aries is a baby, they're over emotional. And they say that about Pisces and Cancer too. And like, I feel like as much as you want to show everyone that you are the queen of blades, that you are this really smart person, and that you work hard and everything, I feel like you're more focused on your inner healing, you're more focused on yourself. And it's kind of like you let people it's not even you let people, I just feel like you know how you come across to people, and you're not trying to fix your reputation because maybe you did something in the past, or people view you as doing a lot of taboo things in the past, and it's like instead of trying to fix your reputation, you're more trying to heal yourself basically. So let me look what the book says. It says, don't burn something to the ground unless you have a plan to build something better in its place. But it's too late for that, isn't it? You got angry. You pointed fingers, you called for war, and war was exactly what you got. Now that it's time for healing and reparations, what's your plan? You need to take time. Wait, you need to take the same initiative and determination you had when you started it and figure it out. Never neglect your intuition. So yeah, I feel like I should end each reading with like an oracle card just because it like leaves you on a lighter note. But yeah, that is what I got for pile 1. I really hope the video resonated. I love you loads, and let's get into the next one. Ooh, okay, pile 2, you guys chose the Un and 2 card. Okay. Let's do this. Let me just bring this thing a bit lower, okay? So pile 2, I feel like people view you as someone that definitely has an eye for perfection, and I'm hearing that people view you as being a perfectionistic person. You could definitely be into photography, film, or just like very artistic energy. And I feel like people really have a say in your life because I feel like you have a lot of potential. You could definitely have been, you know, the gifted child, and it's like people always had this huge expectations for you, or people always just viewed you as being the person that would, you know, leave that small town, leave the small city and make it big. I'm thinking of the song Mean by Taylor Swift. I'll link it down below. And like the one line where she's like, someday I'll be living in the big old city and all you're ever gonna be is mean. And I just feel like people always tend to project their own insecurities and what they want for you onto you, where it's like, because they view you as being a very fragile person, they try to treat you like very delicately, and it's like, you aren't, you know. I feel like you're like a machine. I feel like you definitely are tougher than you seem, but people see you as being someone that's very sensitive, very kind, and I feel like they view you as being very emotional, and it's like they just want to protect you. I just feel like people view you as something that needs to be someone that needs to be protected. You seem like this very feminine and very princess-like energy, you know. You seem like someone that prefers, you know, receiving than giving. And of course, that's completely okay, okay? So, yeah, I feel like people view you as someone that's very elegant, very classy as well. You just seem like someone that isn't, you know, interested in like gossip and drama. You're more interested in like, I don't know, passion, experience, living life, making friends, or you're more focused on your career even. But yeah, I'm hearing that people view you as someone that isn't interested in relationships, or you're someone that always tries to deny your feelings. You kind of stay in your comfort zone sometimes. What else? You definitely have like a darker side to you. that I feel like nobody really knows about you. So you could definitely have a secret account, or I feel like people get the energy that you could be a bit of like a stalker. Okay, I'm sorry, Paul too, but I'm reading what's coming up, okay? So pile 2, people could definitely view you as being someone that could be a bit, I don't want to say creepy, but a bit of a stalker. Like I'm hearing that people feel like you're always like listening, or somehow you always know what's happening. You remind me of Alison De Laurentiis, and like, oh my god, I love her character. Like, I know she's not like the best character, but I love her. And you know, she's very mischievous, she is a liar, she's manipulative, she's like a lot of things. But like mostly what I was busy getting is how she knows everything, she knows everyone, and she's always in the corner and she's always listening. And I feel like if you're hot, then it's like, oh, she knows everything. But like if you're not attractive, it's like, oh my god, they're a stalker, which is very bad. And it just talks about, you know, the beauty standard and everything. But anyways, yeah, I feel like people view you as someone that's just always listening, or like you always know what's up, you always know what's happening in the world. So you could be someone that's really into politics, or you watch the news a lot, or you just seem very knowledgeable. I feel like if you're walking down the street, someone would say, oh, ask this person for directions. Like they probably know where everything is, they look very put together, like they would know this area well. Or people always will think that you're like, maybe you look older than you actually are, because I'm seeing you being like a freshman in high school, and then people assuming that you're a senior, or people assuming that you're like the lecturer if you're in university or college, and people just assuming that like, oh, you're in like the top 10, like you're super smart, right? Or like, yeah, you can play this instrument, yeah, you can do this. Like you know, parents sometimes when they're very proud of their children, they will say, oh yes, my child, or my offspring, let's just use the gender neutral term, my offspring, they came first in the class and they can do anything, that they can do it better than you. It reminds me of Modern Family. Haley, I'll insert a photo of Haley now. But yeah, you remind me of her because she's an overachiever, she's very smart, and like her parents put a lot of pressure on her, and I feel like you get that pressure, and people can tell that, you know, it kind of makes you crazy. Like it can drive you insane when people just put all this pressure on you. And I feel like when you're busy studying, or when you're really into something, you really dive in completely, you know. I feel like you're someone that is like, you have a very obsessive personality, and when you want something or you want someone, you go after it, and it's kind of like that's it, that's all that matters, you know. And like when it comes to your career, you take it so seriously, and when it comes to work, you take it very seriously. And I feel like when it comes to personal relationships or like drama, you're kind of like, eh, whatever, you know. So yeah, okay. Spirit, how do people see Paltum? How do they view Paltum? A lot of cards wanted to come out. Okay, the first card that we have is the Ace of Coins that came up, right? Okay, so Ace of Coins talks about a profit, it talks about money. So truly I feel that people view you as being someone that is financially abundant, someone that makes a lot of money, and someone that knows how to make capital. I feel like you just look like a business person. You look like someone that would fit in like any 9 to 5 job. If you know Divergent, I forgot what one of them was called, but like the business people, like I just feel like people can see you in an office job wearing a suit and a tie, a pantsuit, whatever, and like just fitting in like the work environment, and like not even skipping a beat. They feel like you could skip, you know, whatever grade you're in, and you would like fit in because you're that smart. I feel like people definitely tend to overestimate you, and I do feel like it puts pressure on you as well, because there's this like pastor's child type energy where it's like you have parents that are very high up. Maybe you have parents that are like part of like they're like police officers, or like they're a pastor, or they're a teacher or something, and it makes you more rebellious, you know. And I feel like people view you as that person, because I know this one person, I think they're a Pisces or a Taurus, and like their father is a pastor, and like everyone's eyes was always on this person because, you know, their father's a pastor, and they would be sleeping during church, they would be bunking, drinking, smoking and everything, and people always thought it was like the worst thing ever because they're like, your father's a pastor, and like that's just so dumb. Like, child, chill out, it's just a cigarette, it's just a drink, okay? If you're legal, of course. But yeah, Spirit, how do people view Pal 2? So the first card, okay, the second card that we have is the Knight of Blades that came upright. Okay. So the Knight of Blades talks about someone that is very quick and swift and fast. So I feel like people are always surprised by the decisions you make and like what you choose to do in your life. Maybe it's like you have a hobby and people are kind of like, I never pegged you for being that type of person. Like you could have maybe like a collection of something and they're like, oh, like I never thought you'd be into this. You could definitely be very popular, and yeah, like it reminds me of this Aries person that I knew, and they were super popular, right? And I was friends with them, and like they watched Barbie, and like I remember at the time, like I don't know, Barbie just wasn't cool, and like I just remember they watched Barbie all the time, and I was like, oh, like I didn't think you'd be into Barbie, and like obviously I watched it with them. I love Barbie, but yeah, I feel like you could be into like quote unquote lame things, and people just think it's like, huh, okay. And I feel like it goes back to like the whole being attractive, and I feel like because you're attractive, it's like you could have any hobby you want and like nobody would make fun of you for it. And like I know there was a trend going around about like, I forgot what it was, but something about like, I don't know, guys and girls having hobbies and like how they get treated differently. I think it's like women, they can have whatever hobby they want and it's cool. I don't know, I don't remember, but yeah. Okay, and then we have the Chariot card that came upright. So you could definitely be a Cancer as well, and I feel like people just view you as someone that kind of like takes the blame. You could definitely be the oldest child, so you kind of have to be an adult. You always have to set an example. And yeah, especially like I said, if you are like, you know, a pastor's child or like whatever, it just feels like you always had to be, you know, the poster child. You always had to be the good influence. You always had to do this and do that. Sit up straight, cross your legs. Like you always had to be put into either these gender conformative norms or societal norms or just like what people expect you to be. And I feel like people can see you trying to find your authentic self. But like at the same time, they still view you as being this, you know, at the end of the day, just the pastor's child. So whatever, fit the reading to how it resonates to you. But yeah, Spirit, how do people view Pile 2? How many cards did I take out for Pile 1? Okay, I took out 4. So two more cards for you guys. Spirit, how do people view Pile 2? Okay, we have the Knight of Coins. So truly, I feel like people view you as someone that is still younger. I feel like I'm talking so loud. But yeah, they view you as someone that is still mature and you're still, you know, growing up. You're very young. Like, yeah, you're the oldest and everything, but they just see you trying to find your personality, trying to find yourself. And I think honestly, it really is a beautiful thing. Like I knew this other Aries person and they would always come to school with like a different look, a different hairstyle, because they were trying to find who they were, because yeah, they grew up very, you know, in a conservative household. So as soon as they got freedom, they kind of broke free completely. And I feel like that's how people view you, where it's like you got a taste of freedom and you're kind of like, oh my god, freedom, I want to do everything. Like Tangled, you know that girl when like she was locked up in a tower and then as soon as she got out she was like, I want to see the world, I want to see the lanterns, I want to go to a club, I want to do this. And it's like you finally have freedom and people just see you expressing yourself, because you couldn't do that previously because of money limits, because of family, or because of, like I said, society. But now you can. So yeah, and now let me pull out an oracle card for you. Spirit, how do people view Pile 2? How do they view Pile 2? Okay, we have the villain. Oh, my favorite card. It says you can always rewrite the story. Okay, I'm sorry, but like my whole entire household, they can hear me. Anyways, so it's basically just saying that no matter where you came from, so even if you came from like a conservative household or whatever, like you can still rewrite your story. And just because maybe you lost your childhood in the beginning and you couldn't really experience yourself, I feel like people view you as trying to rewrite your own story. You're kind of like, you grew up conservative. Like I just keep hearing past this child, and like you couldn't express yourself, you couldn't do this and that, and now it's kind of like you finally get to do what you've always wanted to do, and you finally get to, like, you know, heal your inner child. So the book says, a hard truth to swallow: sometimes our villains win. However, that doesn't mean you should give up or lose all hope. It just means that it's time to rewrite the story and keep going. Okay, I'm super sorry the camera died. I mean, my camera stopped recording, but yeah, it just means it's time to rewrite the story and keep going. It can be incredibly freeing and empowering to reclaim yourself after a personal tragedy. So, yeah. That is what I got for part 2. I really hope the video resonated. I love you loads, and let's get into the next one. Okay, pile number 3, you guys chose the mobile. So yeah, like I said, my family's awake and they can hear me, and it's very embarrassing. So if I'm whispering, that is why. But anyways, pile 3, I feel like people view you as someone that really does keep your friends and family really close. People view you as someone that enjoys, okay, not enjoys, you try to avoid conflict. And I'm even hearing that you could definitely be an extrovert, maybe an ESFP or like a Leo or something, because I'm getting very like extroverted energy and like a lot of like wanting to be loud, and it's like, bro, I'm trying to be quiet right now. But I'm just hearing like your energy is kind of like bah bah bah, like you remind me of Sharpay Evans from High School Musical. Like I'll insert a photo. So yeah, like I'm hearing like you just seem like someone that is very extravagant, and even if you're someone that's very muted and very like not like that, I feel like people view you as someone that's more extroverted than you actually are, or people view you as being more yeah, extra than you actually are. I feel like maybe you're someone that posts a lot on social media, so it's like people assume that you're very extroverted when you aren't. I feel like I can relate to that sometimes because I have a big personality. But a bitch get shy. I get shy sometimes, like her. So I feel like people, so I can relate to you on that. But yeah, people view you as being someone that's just like, how can I say this? I feel like because there's so many assumptions about you, people just like make all these assumptions, and then yeah, they get a bit like flabbergasted when it's like it's not true. Or people, or like maybe you're an amazing texter, but like in person you're very awkward. What else? What am I busy getting? I don't know, I feel like it's really hard to read you, pile 3, because with the other piles it's like all the stuff was just coming through, but like pile 3 I'm getting like a block here. I feel like there definitely is a bit of a disconnect in like who you truly are and how people see you. Because maybe it's like you put up a front for people, definitely, because with like this mobile card, it's like the mobile talks about social media. So I really do feel like how you present yourself and how people see you, it's more like that's how you want them to see you. So you could definitely be a Gemini, and I'm just getting, this is really similar to pile number 1, where I was like, this person is someone that's like a mastermind, but this is more like you have a planned out personality, or your personality changes depending on who you're with. So when you're with your friends, maybe you're more like yourself and you're more relaxed, but when you're with strangers you can be really yeah, to yourself and very reserved. And I feel like people can notice that, like, or they think it's really weird because when you're with certain people you're very loud, and then when you're with other people you're very quiet and stuff like that. Okay, sorry about that interruption. I forgot where I was, so let me just pull out some cards. Okay, how do people view pile 3? Oh yeah, like I said, it's like you act differently in front of different people. So yeah, Spirit, how do people view power theory? Let's get some accurate messages. So the first card that we got is the Knight of Rods that came upright. Okay, so Knight of Rods. Okay, so people view you as being someone that definitely is a bit of a trauma. I feel like you're someone that takes action. I'm getting the vibe that people view you as being someone that is definitely a huge flirt. And I'm just hearing like you could be someone that's like, oh yeah baby, like I'm gonna take you out, like I'm gonna be doing this and this to you. Like you act like you're like this, you know, big short person, but like child, you get shy. Like I'm just hearing like you like texting someone or flirting with someone and then getting super shy. Like, oh my gosh, Geminis, bro. Gemini, this is Gemini, because I love Gemini so much. But like I know my partner's a Gemini. If you're watching, hey, what's up? And like they're super dope, but like bro, they are such an extrovert, but like sometimes when I'm with them they get really shy and reserved out of nowhere, and I'm just like, what? Or like they get really shy when it comes to like intimacy, or like, you know, those people where it's like they say, oh, I'm gonna do this to you, I'm gonna do this and this and this, and then as soon as you're alone with them they get all like choked up and they're like like I remember I saw this one guy. Okay, the guy was like, where the hoes at? Obviously don't use those words, it's very bad, don't say hoes. But he was like, where the hoes at? And then this guy brought like a girl and he was like shy and quiet, and then the guy was like, what you doing now? I brought a hoe. Now why aren't you talking? Okay, like I said, don't use that word, very derogatory, very bad. You don't use that word for women, okay, very bad. But like, you know what I mean? I just feel like you get really shy and like you talk yourself up, and then it's like it's so funny when like you don't do what you say you're gonna do. But I think people think it's really cute, you know, where like you act all shy and you're like, oh yeah, I want to do this to you, I like you, and then you're just like, yeah, you're really shy. But you know, you're a sweet talker, people find you attractive. Spirit, how do people see power theory? Okay, we have the Tower card that came upright. Okay, so with the Tower card, I'm busy getting the vibe that like people view you as someone that is definitely very destructive. I feel like, yeah, you're kind of like all about the drama, or you're really into like knowing people's business, but in the way where it's like, I don't know, I just feel like you like causing drama for people. You like leading people on, you like, you know, just causing a ruckus. I feel like if you could be the drama, you will be the drama. If you can insert yourself, you will insert yourself. I'm just hearing that like you like making people fall for you, like feeling good about yourself, you like a lot of like material things, and that's not a bad thing, queen, okay, whichever gender, okay, royalty. Yeah, I'm just sharing that people view you as someone that like you like playing people, you like dating, you like, you know, cute stuff, you like things that are aesthetically very pretty. So yeah, Spirit, how do people view power theory? Okay, so we have the King of Elixirs that came upright. So yeah, I feel like you're someone that's deeply very sensitive and very nurturing and sweet. So it's like, as much as you might put up this front where it's like, oh, you're a big shot, you don't got feelings or whatever, you just play people, like you seem like a player. Fam, people view you as a player. I feel like people that really know you know that you're really sensitive, you're really kind, and you're really in control of your emotions. And I feel like people really appreciate that about you as well. Like you have this sensitive masculinity energy about you. And yeah, I feel like you aren't afraid to be vulnerable with people, you aren't afraid to like be straight up. So it's like, even if you do seem like the player type, I feel like you're really straight up and you tell everyone from the beginning what you want. And like sometimes people are kind of like, damn, like that was brutal, like, or that hurt my feelings, because you can be a very blunt person. I feel like people really appreciate the brutal honesty instead of you leading them on, you know. And if you want to lead them on, I feel like you probably do that as well, and you're a girl boss queen, keep doing that. So yeah, okay, let's see. So how do people view power theory? Oh my god, so many cards came out. Jeez. Okay, I'm not reading all these cards, I'm sorry. So we have the Nine of Cups that came upright. So you could definitely be a water sign. So Nine of Cups talks about being happy in your energy. So I just feel like when people view you, they view you as being someone that's happy with yourself, and it's kind of like they don't see you settling down anytime soon. They don't see you, you know, like getting married anytime soon. They view you as being someone that's going to be traveling. You're going to be the rich aunt, rich uncle, rich non-binary, which whatever, you know. They view you as being someone that's just happy with where you are and what you're doing in your life. And it's kind of like I don't know how to say it. Like, if you're a hustler, I feel like people view you as wanting to hustle for the rest of your life. Or like, if you're like a bachelor, people view you as wanting to be a bachelor for the rest of your life, and like you're happy with it, you know. Like, some people might say, oh no, you should be doing this, settle down, do this, and you're like, fam, I'm making money, I'm happy, like I'm doing the things. So yeah, people view you as a player. Pile number 3. I'll pull out one more card, okay? Well, 2 more. Okay, and then we have the Hierophant that came up, right? So you could also definitely be a Taurus. So the Hierophant talks about someone that has a lot of wisdom, okay? I feel like people just get the energy that you're not going to be settling down anytime soon, and that you have a lot of lessons to learn in your life. I do feel like some people think that like some things are gonna catch up with you, but like, fam, you're the life of the party. I feel like if there's ever something like a party, or like when people want to hang out, it's like it's not as fun if you aren't there. Like, you bring the vibes, okay? You bring the party, you bring the energy. So yeah, let me pull out an oracle card for you. Spirit, how do people view pile 3? How do people view pile 3? Your 2 cards want to come out. So the first card says homeward, take yourself out on a date. Yeah, people just view you as being someone that is very independent. I feel like you're someone that will take yourself out. You aren't afraid to, you know, be alone. You aren't afraid to just like be in your own energy, basically. And I feel like people really envy that about you. That you're okay not settling down, that you're okay just being by yourself. So you could definitely be in like your single era, basically. So it says, slow down, it's time to press pause and contemplate before the next leg of your journey. It's in those solitary, introspective moments where we learn the most interesting and eye-opening things about ourselves. Take yourself out on a date of all sorts, even if it's just a quiet and cozy night at home. Enjoy your own company. So people view you as someone that does enjoy your own company. And then we have the red, forgive. So people could definitely view you as someone that keeps a grudge. I feel like if you don't want to do something, it's kind of like that's it. There's no convincing you. And you can definitely be a very stubborn person. And especially if you are a Taurus fam, like, you know. So it says you've been holding a grudge against somebody in your life. Maybe it's a loved one, or maybe it's yourself. This isn't a card telling you that you must learn to practice forgiveness. No, forgive them on your own terms if and when you feel ready to do so. This is simply a nudge for you to consider whether the time is the present. Don't let forgiveness feel like an obligation, but like a shiny red rope that gets you through the sleepless late nights. So that is what I got for pile 3. I really hope the video resonated, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.